Oh. Right, well I did a walk around earlier of this Tiger 800XC.
Right, chaps. I know I said I was getting a speed triple, but I was given this 800XC, the speed they sold it apparently. They sold the speed triple. So there we go. It's an 800cc triple engine. Puts out 95 brake horsepower, 79 newton meters of torque. Obviously pounds per foot's a lower figure than that. And it's a liquid cooled inline triple, as we know. Fuel tank's 19 litres. It's got 6 gears. Now the seat height, that's quite something. That is 845 to 865 millimetres. Now that is at its highest now. And I'd say for anyone shorter than 5'10", they're going to struggle on it quite badly. Curb weight's not too bad actually, 215 kilograms. So add another 15 for wet weight. It's got ABS. Front wheel is 21 inches. It's quite big. And the height felt a bit vague on the road. It's got twin floating discs and calipers on the front and rear floating caliper on the back. With ABS, rear wheel 17 inches. I mean, it looks quite a nice bike actually. So optional extras. There wasn't a hugger on the optional extras. It makes me think it could get pretty covered in crap, although the shock is pretty well protected there. So you can get an aluminium sump guard. It's instead of that one for 170 quid. This could be a sliding carriage. You get the kit for £110. Fog lights. This hasn't got fog lights, but you can get the XC fog lights. But that's £300. Arrow slip-on is £575. That's a lot just for a bit of performance and noise. The adjustable high screen kit is £130. Now this is a high screen I reckon, but I don't think it was adjustable. You can get a front mudguard extender for £26, which would save those pipes, and a radiator guard, which this hasn't got, for £65. Now hopefully the weather won't be raining like it was earlier on my way home, and I'll talk about the handling of it later. But that is the 800cc Triumph Tiger XC. So it's meant to be the adventure bike. And all in all it looks quite nice. Even next to that Kawasaki. So there you go. And what I just found is this. Cigarette power socket, look at that. Cool. So you got power right there, as standard.
So there we go, I've just put some fuel in. So far fuel tank hasn't registered it, fuel gauge hasn't registered it. But it's climbing up and the fuel empty light's gone off. It's quite high. Oh god, it's just started raining again. Really? Hasn't rained all day. And it just wanted to rain now that I'm back on the bike. Hurrah! Right, this bike, really, really easy to balance. You can do slow riding till the cows come home. So much manoeuvrability with the wide bars. It's wonderful. However, this isn't a bike for filtering between cars, stationary traffic. There just isn't room. It's too wide in that respect. It's such a versatile bike. It's an 800cc, as discussed in the walk around. Plenty of poke, although the engine, well actually the engine's now warm, but that's the coolant temperature, not the oil, so I still don't want to push it until the engine's warm. I feel like my hands are really far out, but it does mean that when it comes to comes to standing up, it's much, much better. It's very comfortable standing up. I've tried that. Look at that, lovely. Plenty of torque. The wind resistance is amazing. So, or lack of. Now, I had a street triple for 17,000 miles. I had my Thruxton now for 6,000 miles. And I had a Bandit for 2,000 miles before that. And pretty much they were all naked. This morning, I may have, allegedly, gone rather fast. Much faster than I expected to. Because I wasn't used to the fact there's no wind at all. I mean, it's lovely. The screen is just fine. As discussed, I don't think this screen is adjustable. However, you can buy an adjustable kit. Seats comfy, although, as discussed, quite high up. And yeah, we're in 6th gear, doing 55 miles an hour at 4,000 RPM. And it's lovely. It's a triple engine. It's got that beautiful induction whine. I suppose it's a whine. But then I love that. I find it really addictive. It's a lovely sound, I think. Some people don't like it. Yeah, go on, get out of the way. Right, there we go. 60 to 80 in just a blip of the throttle, and that was in 6th gear. And that wasn't full throttle, that was just a bit of them. So plenty of torque. Doddle to ride. As long as you're over, say, 5'9", maybe 5'10", perfect. Loads of space. Put loads of luggage on it. The only two things I'd say it's not suitable for: 2-up touring, because once you've got someone on the back, there isn't much room, and it might not be very comfortable back there. I don't know, but the actual rider's seat is excellent. And filtering through heavy traffic, so city riding maybe. It is narrower than a GS or the Explorer 1200, but it's just the width of these bars really. Turning circles, amazing. Loads and loads of steering locks, brilliant. So manoeuvrable, this bike. I really like it, but for me it's not a one bike in the fact that if it was the only bike you had, it would annoy you because you can't tuck down on it, or you can. It just doesn't feel sporty. Yes, it's got a surprising amount of oomph. Get up and go, that sort of thing. But and it is exciting. It's fun, but it doesn't give you the same amount. It doesn't give you the same thrill as a sports bike or a naked bike like the Street Triple. Now, I still maintain the Street Triple's the best bike if that's the only bike you've got, because it's so versatile. It can do everything, apart from perhaps 2-up touring. Oh, the fact that I can't hear the exhaust note is a bit annoying, but I do wear earplugs. This morning, the first time I'd ridden this bike, it's tall, it's got a 21-inch front wheel, which, I mean, look how manoeuvrable that is. It's lovely, it just wobbles, whee! But this morning it was really wet, and I didn't know the bike, and I had to lean. And I just felt really uncomfortable leaning on it because it's so tall. I just didn't know how far I could lean in the wet. I mean, obviously it's an off-road bike, which means if it's wet shouldn't be an issue at all. So I should have had more confidence, really. But also, this morning was the first time it had rained in a while, and there was a lot of diesel leaching out of the tarmac. Yeah, lovely bike, really easy to ride. If adventure riding's your thing, better fuel consumption than the 1200 or GS. Yeah, I wouldn't have an issue with it. Range is probably about 170, 180 miles, 19 litre tank, 50 miles to the gallon, maybe 200 miles. Just a nice, tidy bike. Not my thing, I'm afraid. I wouldn't want to go off-road on this just because I'd feel a bit too precarious, but then all adventure bikes are tall, and I suppose in a way you want them to be light, so yeah, as adventure bikes go, I can't fault it. There's the argument over having a chain, going off-road, stones get in the chain, you'd be forever trying to clean it, which would be a pain in the bum. There we go, that was full throttle in a second. Now the bumps, I can't feel many bumps. The suspension is very soft. And potholes and things you just waft over, which is very nice. My wrists aren't taking a hit, my bum's not taking a hit. It's a very, very comfortable, accomplished bike. Yeah, I'm doing miles an hour along here, ish, and barely feel the wind. You can get heated grips, it's got hand guards, you can be toasty warm on this and be fine. Yeah, need protection from the tank, aerodynamically speaking. Yeah, alright. I mean, if this was your thing, they're a very good bike. Can't fault it. Cool, there you go. Get an aftermarket rear hugger anyway. It's 799 cc's, which I believe it's based on the 675 Daytona and Street Triple engines, but with a longer stroke, therefore taller cylinders. It does seem to be a taller engine, looking at it, but it could just be a perspective issue depending on the bike it's in. But with that, it's just very smooth. So yes, we've got gear selector, we've got trip computer. So the trip computer is quite cool. You've got a range, fuel to go, so I've got 106 miles to go on here. You've then got 2 trips settings, and you've got a fuel gauge, engine temperature, clock, speed, and the revs are the old style analog revs, which I prefer an analog tack, I must admit. Because it's much easier to view trends and things. Oh, that was a lovely chap. Here we go. Right, there we go. That was quite quick. Don't forget that was up a steep hill, so quite impressive, really. I enjoyed that. Through the gears, second. Ooh, it goes over quite well. Yeah, I quite enjoyed that. Assuming, which is a crazy thing to do, but assuming this is accurate, we're doing 60 miles an hour in 6th, and it says 70. Around 65 miles to the gallon. So if you are not stuck in traffic and just going along at 60 enjoying the ride, it could quite possibly do 65 miles to the gallon. Let's err on the side of caution and say 60, shall we? Should we say 60 miles to the gallon? So that's a good bike, very good bike. Certainly better fuel consumption than the promised 52 of the 1200 Explorer. And I've ridden the Explorer, and this is more nimble, it's lighter, it doesn't feel so unwieldy, it doesn't feel like a tank. So the only advantage I can see of getting the Explorer over this is the shaft drive, which if you're going off-road, shaft drives make an awful lot more sense. Although GSs apparently have suffered from splines rounding off. Yeah, you'd be forever cleaning the chain if you were constantly going off-road on this. But if you're only going off-road occasionally and the rest of the time commuting and maybe doing some twisties and stuff, this is perfect. Absolutely perfect. The styling isn't to everyone's taste, but if you're after an adventure type bike, can't fault it. Really can't fault it. Some people might want to know about things like how hard the brakes are and the fueling of the throttle. Well, brakes are very good. I had to jam on the brakes a bit when I was coming up to a roundabout a bit quick. And yeah, really good. I suppose a bit spongy. I had to pull harder than I thought I would need to, but they ended up being incredibly effective. So no complaints at all. They're not sporty, but they're very good. The levers are adjustable, but they're the bog standard Triumph silver adjustable levers, the same ones, or they look like the same ones that I have on my Thruxton currently. When it comes to the throttle, no snatchiness at all, really easy, really nice, a lot less snatchy than the Street Triple could be. I eliminated that by tightening the throttle cables, to be honest, but yeah, nice bike. And there's a bit of free play at idle of the throttle grip itself, but it's that's manageable, that's normal. I might tighten that out a bit if it were my bike, but yeah, really smooth, really comfy. One thing, when you floor it, it sort of leans back a bit, but not as much as the 1200 Explorer. And then when you change gear, change up, it sort of rocks forward then back again as you put the power back on. So it's a bit rocky, but nowhere near as rocky as the 1200 Explorer, which of course had probably softer suspension, longer travel, and more power. So it's a difficult comparison with that one, but yeah, lovely bike, lovely bike. I think I'd probably get the alarm as well. That's probably about £280. Now, before when I was talking about accessories, there were Triumph accessories. So of course, engine bars. If you're worried about dropping a tall bike like this, get engine bars. Rentec do them, Evotec do them. They're very good. Aftermarket engine bars are excellent and tailor-made for the bike, so you haven't got a problem really. Additional. While I think about it, 3 things. Firstly, when I woke up this morning, I checked the tyre pressures on this bike. 12 psi low on the front tyre. I think it was 10 psi too low on the rear tyre. It's supposed to be 42 on the back, 36 on the front. It was 24 on the front. No wonder it felt vague. Anyway, feels much better today. Really edgy. Whoa! And I've been leaning it quite a bit more today as well. So, yeah, that's part 1. Part 2 is the gears and clutch. Lovely. Clutch incredibly light, just like the Street Triple, if not lighter. And the gears really easy. I mean, they notch in nicely, but the small amount of travel needed. And yeah, very nice, very nice. And lastly, the bike has only done 250 miles. It's still on its running in period. Shouldn't be going over 5,000 revs. So that might also loosen it up a bit, the engine, and go a bit quicker. There you go. Anyway, pip pip toodaloo. Bye.